Hello. So if we're going to dive deeper into Ayurveda, we have to understand the building blocks of this life science. It breaks down life into sort of three different distinct areas and says that these three areas can help you define where you are, what's affecting you right now, and how you are going about interacting with your body and the world outside of you. So these three doshas, they're called. So if you take a dosha quiz online, this is what you're going to come up with. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And they are all aligned with the elements. So Vata is air and ether. Pitta is fire and water. And Kapha is earth and water. So if we can think about that, I want you to just imagine ether. In our bodies, that would be in our brains. Ether is the thoughts that flow in and out of our mind. Air is the lungs, like what's happening in our lungs. And as you go down the body, then things start to get heavier in consistency. Fire is in the belly. Water is the bowl of the pelvis. And earth is your legs. So when we talk in yoga about grounding and moving downward, we're trying to get out of the busyness of the brain, of the ether, and apply some grounding. We want to move you into your legs, right? Down into some kapha, out of the air and ether. So let's kind of look at those elements a little bit. Vata and air and ether, just Vata personalities are a little bit lighter, a little bit more airy, really intense in their thoughts and their creativity and how they dissect life. And Pitta people are more fire, right? They've got a drive in them, they've got ambition, they've got goals, and they really transform. They get stuff done, right? They can accumulate wealth or they can accumulate things very easily. Pitta people have a lot of drive in them. And then Kapha people, earth and water, they're really grounded, they're really solid, they're usually quite calm, they're reliable, they're stable people, right? They don't have the kind of movement that happens in someone who's got a lot of air ether in their personality. Let's go right to the bottom one. Vata governs movement. So this whole idea that when breath is moving in your body, when you are moving your muscles and bones, you are in movement. When digestion is happening in your body, that's all movement. When your thoughts are moving in your head, that's movement. When they spin too much, that's too much movement. But, right? That's how Vata works. Pitta is transformation. So think of fire. You put fuel on the fire, it burns it, it makes it into something new. You put like you use welding fire to transform metal into a new shape, right? The alchemy word is a derivative of putting things into the fire and having them transform into a new property. Kapha governs growth. So the whole season of building in your body, Kapha makes sure your cells are rebuilding, your blood is rebuilding, that your bones are growing, that when you are a child, you go from being an infant to an adult, that you grow, right? Kapha governs that growth. So interesting, every one of these is sort of key in one season or another. So we right now are in a Kapha season, very spring. We are in a growth season, right? Things are growing outside. It's fresh, it's new, there's green coming on the leaves, it's growth season. Summer, short where we live, Pitta season. And then Vata season where we live, fall, winter. And really, on the Ayurveda clock, it's supposed to be really even between these three, evenly distributed. But where we live, this season lasts at least 6 months of the year. So we are in a Vata, heavy Vata part of the world. These three qualities also govern our stage of life. So we go back to growth. Well, of course, childhood is growth, right? That's when it's governed, like the whole time of your life, that whole 20 years, 18 years, however long you want to define that childhood period, you are growing. Like every day, something new is being added to your body to make you taller, stronger, more developed in every way. Our adult years are when we're defined by Pitta. Those are the years where we're getting stuff done. We are starting to decide what our careers are going to be. We are starting to decide where we're gonna live. Maybe we're buying a car. Maybe we're starting to grow a family. Like, things are coming together in those Pitta years, right? Your career, your home, your family, the building blocks of life are not, it's not just you growing, you are growing into the world. That you're transforming your skill set and your talents and everything into how you're gonna live in this world. And then Vata goes out of that fire again, back up into the air and ether, and that's, we think of the wisdom of the elders, right? Like when you should be writing your memoir and things like that. You're in your senior years. And just like fall and winter, you could be drying up a little bit, right? Like there's not so much unctuousness and juiciness the way there is in a child full of earth and water, right? There's a bit more air and ether. It's a bit drier. Yeah. So I want you to consider that you are all three. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, you are all three of these. And yet, your personal constitution could be a little bit Vata, a little bit Pitta, a little bit Kapha. You're probably more dominant in one of them. And on top of that, this is how your life and the seasons affect you. So right now it is May in Cochrane. So we are having our very short Kapha season. For children, this is a lot of kapha. They have a kapha because they're in their childhood. They have kapha because it's springtime. They could be feeling imbalanced in that area. And for a Vata person who's got a lot of air ether in their body, this spring season feels really grounding, really nice to just settle out, add some groundedness to their Vata. Anyway, just some ideas for you to play with. Hope that gives you a simple base explanation.